Valley News Live 10 at 10 continues with No Wait Weather.
Cool, gray, and windy weather continues here in the northern plains. It extends from our area in the Dakotas all the way through the Pacific Northwest. Look at Billings at 33 degrees. Cold enough for flakes, and indeed some flew today in portions of western North Dakota and the mountains of Montana, as well as eastern portions of Montana. Out to the east, it's a little milder in the Twin Cities, but they too are on the cool side of the weather pattern. Here is a live look from our friends over at Luther Family Ford. You're peering off to the east, and as a matter of fact, it's a little breezy out there from time to time. We see the trees and the cameras shaking a bit in the winds that are at 13 miles per hour. Out of the north, your skies are cloudy. It's 42 degrees on the thermometer, but yes, indeed, it does feel colder than that. Can you believe we're talking about wind chill? Yeah, 35 is what it feels like on exposed skin. It's chilly out there. The coolest air shows up on our temperature contours in the bluish shades here. That's where we have some 30s. Southwest North Dakota, where there is a winter weather advisory tonight for 1 to 3 inches of flaky weather. Eastern North Dakota, low 40s, and that's the same case for most of western Minnesota. 45, though, this hour in Alexandria. We're kind of between two weather-making systems, one exiting eastern Minnesota and a few sprinkles starting to show up in the Devil's Lake Basin, with rain out in the western Dakotas and eastern Montana. For our area from Devil's Lake south through New Rockford and Carrington, the radar is picking up a little bit of activity that could be wetting the windshields out there in the form of raindrops. And then as we sneak out to the west, a little bit more organized and heavier rain showers down north of Lemon, South Dakota, not far from the Hettinger area, south of Dickinson. And in eastern Montana, look at this. This is the Yellowstone River Valley here, and that is snow being picked up in that cooler air in Montana. Will we see snow? Some will. But here's a look at the latest hour-by-hour forecast. Tonight, the north wind continues 10 to 20 miles per hour. Temperatures continue to fall, and if we get any clearing, it's going to only be brief. And as we cool down into the upper 30s in most locations, that's close enough to the dew point where I think we'll see some low clouds and fog to start your Wednesday. Most of us stay dry, minus an isolated sprinkle. And yes, those north winds will keep trucking in the early part of the day at around 10 to 15 miles per hour. Through midday, we stay fairly dry. The first half of the day on the quiet side of things, the winds become just a bit more easterly. Then in the afternoon, rain expands from the western and central Dakotas here into the valley. And in fact, the southern valley from Fargo and the I-94 corridor and Point South could see moderate rain once again on our Wednesday afternoon and evening. Notice out to the west, a couple of blue blips here on our future radar. That's right, a chance for some flakes in our western counties. So Wednesday night into Thursday morning, I say anywhere from around the James River Valley in the Devil's Lake Basin through the Highway 2 corridor and points north, a chance for some flakes mixing in at the very least as we go through the overnight hours. Here is a peek at your Fargo morning forecast. Tomorrow, expect 38 to start your day, fog and clouds, more of a northeast wind, 10 to 15 miles per hour, and 40s once again, but upper 40s in Fargo, mid 40s for Grand Forks and northwest Minnesota, as well as Lakes Country. Low 40s and maybe even some upper 30s in the Devil's Lake Basin where nighttime flakes will be a possibility. Here's a look at the trajectory of that, with the coolest of the air keeping most of the snow chances on Thursday very early in the morning north of Highway 2. Oh dear, that is a wet cornfield. Thank you, Rand, for your photo. The planning forecast shows cool and wet weather Thursday. And then again on Friday, we see temperatures warm up a pinch, but it looks windy for tailgaters. On Saturday, cool, windy, and a good chance of rain. Mid-60s by early next week, though.
All right. Thanks, Hutch.
You bet.
Later on